This is the Relevant Podcast.
It's episode 993, and it's the Relevant Podcast here in Orlando. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and joining me from Loverland, Virginia, is Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
From Nashville, Tennessee, artist, producer, and mogul, Derek Miner.
What's happening?
And once again, sitting in for Jamie Ivey, our very own downtown Emily Brown, somewhere in Texas.
Hey, y'all.
Deep in the heart of Texas. I think that's a song.
It is a song.
Well, we have a great show in store for you today. Coming up later, we talk to actor Joel Edgerton, who you've seen in a bunch of Star Wars movies, most recently on Obi-Wan and Great Gatsby, but a bunch of stuff. He has a new film out that we talked to him about. Don't want to miss that. Also, we have slices. At the end of the show, we have a Tyler Huckabee game called I'm a Believer.
Yay.
I'm a Believer. You don't want to miss that. Stay tuned.
Yeah, Cameron, I know we got a lot to get to today.
Yeah,
but
lots.
I had an awkward interaction that I just need to get off my chest. I haven't told anybody about this. I'm walking back to the office where I work out of the other day from getting a cup of coffee. And it's Cameron, you've been right down here. It's at the oceanfront in Virginia Beach. A lot of pedestrian traffic and a lot of little alleyways.
So Jesse's walking around in his little business attire. Everybody walking past him is in their swimsuits.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
It's very casual, very awkward, especially when you're in business attire and everyone's in swimsuits. But I see a group like all kind of huddle up and go into an alleyway. And for some reason in my mind, I don't know why. It was something about the way they're standing all looking at one of the guys. I thought I stumbled into some street magic. Like, I literally thought one of them had like a deck of cards or a coin and was doing... I don't know why. That was the first thing that thought to my mind. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm stumbling into legit street magic right here.
Jesse, did you follow them?
Followed them because... If you see what you presume street magic happening, I feel like you kind of just got to know. But they went into like an alley, and it was like as soon as I turned the corner, it was obvious that I was following them. You know what I mean? Like there was no it was like I could have like awkward. It was too awkward at that point. So it was like, okay, I'm going to just walk past them, but kind of slow down. In my mind, I'm going to get pulled into the street magic trick, But I walk up. Because they're all standing around one guy. I walk up and I kind of look over and I'm thinking, is it a coin? Is it one of those mind reading things where he's writing a number? Is it a deck of cards? I go, and as soon as I get close enough, they all turn and look at me. And it's just a guy handing out cigarettes to his buddies. Like they're literally just like trying to find a place to smoke off and they all just stare at me and I just stare at them. And I literally said, for some reason, I thought this was street magic. And I just got out of there. I just walked away. And they just silently watched me leave. Am I wrong? Am I in the wrong here? Because I feel like if you think you're going to see it, you have to go investigate.
Here's the thing, though.
Group of men.
What about them made you automatically jump to street magic? Because
did they have a top hat or something? No,
I've never seen a single person and thought, that's a magician.
Never in my life.
The fact that you suggested a street magician's going to wear a top hat suggests that you don't know what street magic is. No offense,
I
Emily.
don't. I can say right now, I do not know what street
I'm trying to figure out what was the tell. That's what I'm trying to find is the tell. Like, did he have on a tuxedo?
Was there a little bunny
no,
like
they were just like very cool customers. That's what made me think
was he just walking
magic.
around with a deck of cards, like flagging them out, like Gambit?
No,
or
but I saw
like,
something in his hand. It turned out to be cigarettes, but I thought it
could have been a gun, Jesse.
Could have been.
He could have been sticking up a group of guys, and we're going to go in the alley, and I'm going to rob you. And you're like, hey, me too. Like,
I'm telling you, have you ever seen up close street magic?
Could have been a drug deal. Like,
right. That's where my mind would have gone. If all those guys are following a dude and they're trying to get some privacy, and then they're all staring at me.
They trying to buy some crack.
I remember, I as I was walking away, I remember, why did I think that was street magic? Like, that is the weirdest conclusion to jump to.
Because you have an innocent mind, my friend.
I was going to say, I love that you think so highly of humanity that people are doing like street alley magic. That's not the reality, though.
Listen, Emily, street magic does happen. It does happen.
Hey, let's go in this dark alley. I just learned this new street magic trick. I'm going to make a quarter
Derek,
come behind your ear.
This is a prime opportunity for you to go, that's white privilege, my friend. Like the fact that he's walking down an alley and all he thinks about it could be street magic.
Did I have to even say it though? Because all the black people listening to the show is like, this is not going to end.
Don't follow people down an alley.
Look,
all the black people, Hispanic people was like, well, we're gonna see how this will play out. He's alive, so
I'd like to clarify. I think a lot of white people also are probably thinking that too.
Oh yeah, I would hope so. I would hope so.
Here's a quick question: where do you guys think street magic happens? Okay, it happens
Las
on the
Vegas?
streets.
I don't know.
On the streets.
If there's not somebody filming, it ain't street magic, my friend.
This is big,
You gotta
homie.
practice.
In Virginia?
I'm not following anybody in the alleyway. I don't care if we was in Las Vegas and David Blaine was walking down the street. I'm not following. They might be trying to rob David Blaine. For all I know.
Blaine's gonna get robbed in that alley.
It's a tourist area.
care.
For all I know, there's a wandering street magician doing stuff for tricks. It's not that absurd if you put yourself in my shoe.
It's extremely absurd. It's extremely absurd. Like it's not even like relatively not absurd.
If you thought it was a 60% chance it was street magic, would you investigate? Because
because the 40% chances it could have been something totally different.
Because if you stumble into street magic, it's the best story ever. You come back and you're like, you guys are not gonna believe it.
No,
You're right. I wouldn't believe it.
You guys, you won't believe it. I just got robbed. Yeah, guys, you won't believe it. I used to have $30 on me. Now I have nothing. Yeah.
right?
It's vanished. You explain it.
It vanished. It was street magic, buddy. You got mugged.
It was its own form of street magic.
It's a street magic. Watch me make Jesse's wallet disappear.
Wallet disappear. Exactly right.
Hey, you got to live your life in a way that if you see Cameron, I feel like over the years we've told a lot of great stories on this podcast, and the reason is because you have to let your social curiosity flourish.
No,
when you think something funny is happening out there in the world, you got to go take a gander. You know.
Jesse, is that a real story, bro?
Yes. Are you It happened, dude. I was walking in, and I was literally, as I was like, dude, I cannot believe this, man. Because the way they kind of like pulled to the side, the way they kind of pulled to the side, and it was clear he had something in his hand. I was like, this is unbelievable. I was like, I was lpassing thinking, I'm gonna go check this thing out.
In his hand, dude.
I'm gonna go check this thing out, and I'm gonna have
it was heroin, dog.
Oh my god, he's passing out meth, like literally.
I literally thought this is gonna be a great story for the pod. I'm gonna go check out the street magic right now.
It is a great story.
As I got close and they started looking at me, that's when I realized, I've got to find my way out of this alley.
This is great.
I feel like you have a bucket list, and on that bucket list is like see real live street magician or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, and even if I cross it off, I would never cross it off because I'd want to see it again.
All right. Well, let's get going. There's a lot to get to on today's show. All right, stay tuned. Up next, it's Slices.
Because I'm calling out your name and call out because I'm never gonna love again. I'm never gonna love again. Show me your love, why don't you go up and say, show me your love, why don't you go up and say, show me your love, why don't you go up and say, show me your love, why don't you.
You're listening to the 1975. The song is Happiness. It's the dance floor edit. A little update. Well, today's show is brought to you by our friends at World Vision. Women and girls in poverty face more obstacles simply because they're born female. But World Vision knows that when a girl's God-given potential is unleashed, extreme poverty doesn't stand a chance. Children are better cared for, families are stronger, and communities are more prosperous. And with your help, a girl can grow stronger, be healthier, go to school, learn her value, marry when she wants and who she wants, and even start a business. To sponsor a girl, visit worldvision.org/stronggirl. That's worldvision.org/stronggirl. Now, listen, I have been to the front lines of World Vision, seen their work firsthand, and it is unbelievable the way they help lift up communities and help empower people to stand on their own 2 feet. Go check it out. worldvision.org/stronggirl. All right, it's time for
Slices.
What do you have, Jesse?
All right. Well, hey, speaking of...
My eyes are still watering from just thinking about you following a drug deal into an alley.
I promise I did not make that story
innocently
up.
thinking that it was going to be street magic.
I don't regret it. Like I said, if it happened again, I would do it again because I'm not going to pass up street magic. And speaking of street magic and magicians, I'm very excited about this slice because this slice has everything you want. It has a magician. It has a buried biblical treasure, and it has a self-proclaimed micronation. Okay,
what?
Yeah. So, do you guys know the name Uri Geller?
No.
So Uri Geller, actually on a podcast I used to do called Hiding Something, he was a major character in season 2 of that show because Uri Geller was a professional mentalist, like Cameron, like the one that we had seen at Disney that one time doing tableside
After
magic,
our Christmas party, after our staff Christmas party.
Uri Geller, he rose to fame first for like bending spoons with his mind, a trick that Cameron, you and I have seen another tableside kind of do. But he could also do these sort of like mind reading tricks, and he would do these shows. Anyway, he was eventually employed by the CIA for the Project Stargate program, where he was kind of one of the original kind of psychic spies that was working for the CIA as well as for Mossad in Israel. He also got hired by a lot of like oil companies to do dowsing, which is essentially kind of using extrasensory perception to find buried oil or water. It's sort of a pseudoscience that has been around for a long time. Anyway, Uri Geller also has a reputation for being a showman, and obviously mentalism is as much. Well, I'll say this. The CIA did dabble with it, but Uri Geller's mostly known for kind of being a little bit of a trickster. But he recently announced that he was founding his own micronation, which is he bought this island off the coast of Scotland, and he's declaring it sovereign. It's called the Republic of Lamb because of the island's called Lamb Island. So Karen, we talked about this before. Yeah. You have a relative who started their own sovereign nation. But the reason he started this micronation is because he wants to explore this island, because he has become convinced after reading documents that date back to the 1500s that is actually the home to buried treasure that resulted from that. How the treasure got there was that the daughter of the pharaoh who basically had his army destroyed when the Red Sea crashed down on him in the Old Testament story of the Israelites' escape from Egypt. That Pharaoh's daughter ended up taking her father's treasure to go hide it because his army was destroyed and there was no one to defend it. And she hid it on this island off the coast of Scotland. That is sort of this legend and theory.
How could the daughter of a pharaoh get from Egypt to Scotland?
Well, by boat. Like there's documents from the 1500s that's the origin of this legend. Now, obviously, it's disputed by a lot of historians, but there are medieval documents that suggest this is the history. The other thing is the island. It has 2 islands right next to it. Uri Geller says that they are in the exact same sort of like proximity to each other, like to scale as the Egyptian pyramids. Like they form their own sort of triangular pyramid that's the exact same. It sounds pretty wild. But either way, Uri Geller has bought this island. He has declared it its own sovereign micronation, and he will soon be trying to find a possible buried biblical treasure. If we had to have like a slice checkbox, this one had like 5 of 8 things that you want in a perfect slice. We got a magician, we got a micronation, we got an old Bible story, we got buried treasure. This is a story I'm going to be standing on top of.
This is happening now?
Yeah. Uri Geller declared that the island was sovereign this week.
But is Scotland going to say no? Like, is Scotland going to...
How do you declare is it like a Michael Scott, I declare bankruptcy thing, or Like, what's the process?
From what I understand, essentially, like you just kind of say, "Hey, it's sovereign." I don't think Scotland's going to go to war with them. I mean, I think it's more or less a publicity stunt, but it is sort of. There are some islands that is a gray area because he actually owns the island.
Yeah.
Oh, because he owns the island.
Yeah, he purchased the island. Yeah.
That's different than King Strang declaring Beaver Island in Michigan a sovereign nation.
Yeah, he was just kind of calling dibs on it, but that's not how that works.
I have a distant relative named King Strang that is broke off from after Joseph Smith died in the Mormon world. Brigham Young and Strang were basically vying to take over, and Brigham Young, BYU, won. And King Strang took his followers and went up to Beaver Island in Michigan and declared it a sovereign nation and appointed himself king. Do yourself a favor and read the Wikipedia on King Strang and Beaver Island. It is bizarre.
I cannot wait.
And hey, I would also look up the Wikipedia on Uri Geller. Not only is he a spy been a spy for both the CIA and Mossad and a stage magician. He's arguably the weirdest current living guy. Do you know guess who the best man at his wedding was years ago?
Nicolas Cage.
Michael Jackson. Okay, like I'm telling you, he is one of the weirdest guys. He hangs out with like presidents and celebrities because he is the world's sort of like preeminent mentalist. Seriously, one of the most interesting dudes in the entire world.
Great at parties is what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right.
If you see him walking down an alley, follow him because you're likely going to see some cool street matches. That's all I'm saying.
He's going to try and sell you drugs or he's going to mug you. All right, Emily, what do you have?
I have some other weird news. Okay, really quick. How many of y'all like candy corn?
I like it. It's fine. I don't have a sweet tooth, but I don't hate it the way people hate it.
Okay. Do we have any haters or lovers of candy corn? I'm a hater. I'll say it.
I'm pretty indifferent. Pretty indifferent.
Yeah, I'm indifferent. Right. I don't hate it.
Well, I'm going to say I strongly hate them. So I just think they're gross. And I think there's so much better candy out there. But for reasons unknown, the creators of candy corn have decided to come out with a few new fall flavors for their tailgate themed campaign that they're doing. So it looks like candy corn, but the flavor is a little different. So they have some that taste like fruit punch, ice cream, popcorn, hamburger, and hot dog.
Wait,
what?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. You pop in the little triangle thing and it tastes like you're eating a hamburger.
I don't know who asked for this. I certainly did not. And for some reason, you can buy these. You can buy them at Walgreens right now. And so if you've ever wanted to have a bite-sized version of a hot dog, again, don't know who's ever had said that anywhere in their life. But if you want that, you can now buy it at stores. And they've done this before. They come out with kind of different flavors. I don't know anybody that in real life that has eaten them, but I guess it's a way to remind people that you can buy candy corn all year round. Because earlier this year, they actually had what they called the taco truck, which was taco flavored jelly beans. Again, I don't know who's over there in the candy factory thinking up these ideas, but they might need to get someone new because these are terrible ideas. I have never wanted hot dog flavored anything, but especially candy.
No, but the thing is, like, you have to use it like prank candy. Like
Yeah.
the move is you get the bowl you get the bowl of regular candy corn, put it out.
Yeah.
Wait till the fall. Little do they know, there's 5 or 6 hamburger hot dogs ones just floating around in the
I think I would immediately
like
throw up if I ate one on accident.
Big homie. If I come to your crib and I go to get some candy and this candy tastes like a hot dog, I'm fighting the host, like on site. I'm gonna beat you up in your own house.
No magic tricks.
The thing is,
no magic
most
tricks.
People eat by the handful, so you just get a hint of hot dog.
Yeah, it's the random popcorn Jelly Belly. You're eating all the tropical flavors, and there's a popcorn one in the middle, and just ruins the whole thing. Yeah. Interesting. All right, what do you have, Derek?
So scientists brought dead pig organs back to life. So we're about 5 years out from The Walking Dead starting, clearly, because we just don't know when to quit. So hope y'all enjoyed it. We had a good run, and that's what I just found out.
Zombie pigs are taking over.
Zombie pigs are going to be taken over.
Was it just to see if we can bring organs back to life? They're just going to start with pig ones.
I think the purpose is for organ transplants. That's what the quote, air quotes, purpose is. I don't know why you want to bring something that's dead back to life besides starting the zombie apocalypse. But hey, I'm just a rapper, so there's that. But yeah, they pumped this this blood substitute called Organ X through these dead pig organs, and it started to, and these pigs have been dead for over an hour, so it's not like any second guessing whether they're dead or not. They've been dead for like an hour. You pump this this blood substitute, and it started to actually reverse decomposition, and they actually begin to pump blood through these organs. So yeah, guys,
for Christians, this has a major question, of the soul and the spirit realm. Like if let's say 10 years from now, 5 years from now,
a pig comes back to life,
somebody died tragically. No, human. They go to humans, they upgrade, like bringing a human back to life, but the soul has left the body. If we believe that as a Christian, it's like, that is a zombie. That is a literal carcass of a human walking around.
But what if the soul reanimates? What if the mind regains its consciousness?
Well, they'll get $1 million publishing deal in the Christian book industry about going to heaven and coming back again. So,
man, look, I just want to put a PSA because I know I'm always the guy that do this, and I know I get. I got a couple of DMs from people that's like, sometimes, Derek, you push it a little too much. But I'm just going to put a PSA out there because I could tell you that if it was 10 scientists in there, maybe one of them is black. And it's probably the black dude that wear Birkenstocks. So it's, you know what I'm saying? But all I'm saying is, white people, can y'all just stop? Like, listen, man, can y'all look, bro? Because y'all got all the money. So ain't no Darius and Javante and them ain't in there trying to bring no pigs back to life. It's all Teds and Todds and all them people. So look, Ted and Todd, bro, look. We seen the movies, bro. Oh, we done already seen it, bro. We know how this end, bro. You not gonna do better than The Walking Dead or Night of the Living Dead. Come on, man.
Hold on. What science lab has the one black scientist wearing Birkenstocks in it, though? Like, why did he have Birkenstocks on?
I'm just saying, it's the black dude that, black people come in all shape. I mean, we come in all sizes, so I'm not trying to start any colorism thing, but I'm just saying, it's Dante and them ain't in there, bro. You know what I'm saying? Tre'Vavious, Cretarius, all them cats, they not in there. They just minding their business.
They're watching The Walking Dead.
You know what I'm saying? Chilling, watching Walking Dead, and see, y'all gonna go in here and do all this stuff, and then I'm mess around and gonna have to shoot my cousin because he got bit by one of these pigs. I'm gonna shoot him in the head, bro. I'm just saying, bro. Like, please stop, bro. Like, we just look, man. We done endured too much, man. We done endured COVID. They got monkeypox out. They got another disease out called laryngitis or something from China, bro. Bro, we didn't see every
laryngitis. What are you talking?
I don't know. It start with an L. I don't know. It start with an L. I don't know what it is, but I'm just saying, like, it's look, man.
I didn't even know that was a disease. I thought it was just when you talk too loud.
I don't know. I know it start with an L. Like, they got it's another one.
New one.
At this point, these diseases is dropping like albums and mixtapes, bro. It's whole rollouts to these ones. They got music videos and everything. But I'm saying, can we just not have zombie pigs, bro? We didn't deal with it. The Capitol been stormed. We got political stuff going on. We got all kind of, the earth is moving faster than it. I mean, literally, the earth is actually spinning faster right now than it's supposed to. So I'm like, bro, can we not add zombies to the mix?
I'm about to fling off of this thing.
Bro, can we not add zombies to the mix?
Man. And pigs are mean. I mean, like,
but they not nice.
If you encounter a pig in the wild,
they not nice.
Let alone a zombie pig. Whew.
And if Ted gets bit by the zombie pig, he gonna cover it up. He not gonna tell nobody because he want to live, because he got to go back to his nice house and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we look, bro. I'm telling you, look how our response was to COVID. it was awful. Like, so just the zombie apocalypse, it's a wrap. Like, we just out of here. People won't even wear a mask with a COVID. They definitely not gonna shoot their cousin that got bit by a zombie. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna wear a mask. You definitely ain't gonna shoot your cousin. So I'm just saying, y'all white folks, bro, I don't want to make it a race thing, bro, but for real, y'all know Contravious ain't in there whipping up no zombie apocalypse serums. So, bro, y'all cut it out, man. Thank y'all. I love y'all, man. I really do love y'all, for real.
I mean, these are all valid points, but
Gosh.
I mean, we're not talking from the pig's perspective. I'm pretty sure the pigs are pretty stoked about this development. I'm like, guys, I'm not gonna believe it. We do a lot for pigs, okay? Sometimes I watch like local news bloopers with my kids. They're wholesome, for the most part. Sure. And there's one where the news anchors did a story about this like engineer who I don't know how the pig lost its legs, but this pig didn't have back legs, and he put this little roller skate little wheel system, and the pig could use his front legs and kind of scoot around. Right. And they put it up on the screen, and the news anchors are talking about it. It's a very touching human interest story. And then they read the pig's name. And they just broke down laughing because it went from like a sentimental, like, oh, look what they did. They helped this pig who had no legs, just like these scientists with pigs in their organs. But the pig's name was Chris P. Bacon.
Nah, bro. That wasn't the pig name, bro.
Chris P. Bacon. And
that is genius.
Name, that's so cold-blooded.
I'm sure the pig's just stoked. He's got the little wheels now.
You can turn him into bacon.
You can give him a humiliating name. That's fair. It's a fair trade off. You get to be Chris P. Bacon, but you get the little wheels to go around.
All right, now, Cameron, you brought up a great point earlier in my segment. Imagine, man, you in the bosom of Christ. You just love it, man. You done made it to heaven. You got your mansion, and then next thing you know, the zombie thing done brought you back to earth. Yeah, bro, I'd be so mad. I'd be like, dang, man, y'all kill me again, man. Send me on back to heaven, bro. Like, I would be so upset, bro. Like that.
It is interesting to divide between people who believe in an afterlife and eternal life and desire it. Like, that's our that's our real form. That's home. That's where we want to go. Right. Versus people who don't believe in that and they're trying to elongate life here on earth, and be God, essentially, which is just an interesting divide in the scientific and faith communities right now,
bro.
Anyway. All right, that'll do it for Slices. Stay tuned. Up next, actor Joel Edgerton joins us.
You got a love that's a real long shot. Breaking the bank for your weak spot. When she comes around, you lay your money down. No one else but you to blame. But when you play that losing game, it ain't over. So try to ease your worried mind. Dreams come true from time to time. It ain't over.
You're listening to The Black Keys. The song is It Ain't Over. But the song is over now. But the song ain't over. It ain't over. All right. Well, today's show is also brought to you by the Lumo Project. Lumo is a visual Bible project that helps you see the gospel through a brand new lens. If you've ever wondered if the Gospels talk about the big questions we face in life today, like anger or fear or worry or relationships or money, well, it's all in there. And with Lumo, you can experience Jesus' teachings and story in a beautiful, cinematic, visual way. Check out Lumo's free scripture videos by searching the Lumo Project at YouTube. And for other free resources, including small group studies that we helped develop and more, check out lumoproject.com. That's LUMO project.com. It is amazing. It's amazing. Go check it out. Well, our guest today is Joel Edgerton, who you've seen in a bunch of Star Wars movies, including the recent Obi-Wan series. was awesome, as well as movies like The King, Warrior, The Great Gatsby, Zero Dark 30, The Green Knight, and many more. He's one of the stars of 13 Lives, the incredible true story of the soccer team that got rescued after they were caught in a Thai cave-in. He's joined here by producer Raymond Fathanavi Rangoon to talk about making the movie as authentic as possible, the challenge and danger recreating the rescue, and why this story is so different and important. Here's our conversation with Joel Edgerton.
Takes a certain kind of mindset for the deep cave diving. You have to be a bit nuts. They're very, very dangerous.
High water level and the low visibility.
Barely shoulder wide, pulling against very strong currents.
Last seen 9 days ago, 12 boys and their coach are trapped in the flooded caves.
So first up, you're going to be hearing from the producer here. This is Raymond Pathanavi Rangoon. And Raymond is talking about this movie's, how they brought in a Thai community, a Thai cast, Thai crew, to make sure this movie felt as authentic as possible to the real story. This is not a movie about how America shows up and saves the day. That's not what happened in the actual situation. So Raymond talked a little bit about making sure that this movie wasn't Hollywoodized past all recognition and how he fought to protect that. Here's what he had to say.
I was brought in, a couple of months after, I think, during the scripting. And, one of the things that I really appreciated was how receptive Ron was in terms of ideas. He was just really curious. I think that's one of the things I really liked about the way Ron works, is that he has an innate sense of curiosity to actually understand. So how does this work? And he's always asking me these kinds of questions. And sometimes the answers are quite funny because they're so specific. Like, for example, when we were talking about the monk in the film, the crew bar, we said, oh, he has to be Burmese. And then he said, why? And I said, because they don't shave their eyebrows. And then it's just tiny little details like that, makes it authentic. And I think that's one of the things that, we did our best to, really get across, that, we really did our research. And, Ron has been uber receptive about, all of these little minute details. And of course, our cast, who did their own research and did their own materials to really make them as real as possible.
Joel Edgerton is an actor who I always like because it brings a real physicality to his roles, and that was really important for this one because those are, when you watch this movie, those are the actors actually, and they're doing these cave diving scenes that you see. And he talked a little bit about what it was like to actually be involved in this process on such a close, intimate, and very physical level.
It really was exciting, and I think, we're in a controlled environment, but at the same time, with all of the, fast-tracked training and understanding, the madness, it seems, of underwater cave diving, of diving in zero visibility with all this extra equipment. And of course, in this case of the rescue, getting towards a point where we could carry stunt people and the kids unconscious, pretending to be unconscious through these really difficult obstacles. We were in a safe environment. We were very well looked after and very well trained and guided, but there were moments that it really underlined for us how dangerous cave diving is, how dangerous it can be if you aren't in the safe environment that we're in. But it was fun because, I can't imagine where is there another job that you get to go and kind of live out what's like a childhood fantasy, which is like pretending to be a real life hero, which I'm not, and learning a new skill and understanding something that you may not have investigated before. And I feel like most movies give you that opportunity to learn something new about a culture, about history, about a skill that you may just have not had the time in your life or the interest to look at. And somebody gives you that opportunity, opens the door to that, and you take it. And it is fun. And you make sure along the way that you try and look after yourself.
And last but not least, Raymond again had some really interesting, I thought, thoughts about not only this movie being a really interesting story, a very inspiring story, but really an important story and a very contrary to a lot of what we see in the headlines today, and what he thought is so resonant about this movie, what was so resonant about this story, and it certainly resonated with me. Here's what he had to say.
For myself, I remember one of the first conversations I had with Ron, which was, when he said, look, we're going through a pandemic. The world is, not always the best place, but there's a real opportunity here to make a film that show how wonderful it is that we can all come together and show that regardless of nationalities and all these divisions that we have, that we can do something miraculous. And this film is a reminder of that. And I think that the fact that it happened in Thailand and the fact that we are all here is, in the end, yes, it's a Thai story and it happened in Thailand, but I really want to consider it as a human story that everybody can actually relate to, regardless of any kinds of divisions that we have. And honestly, we need this kind of film now to remind us of that. And for me, and I hope also for the Thai actors, we're just part of it, and to really show, our culture and, the things that, we did also to really help to make this miracle happen. And I think that, with Ron's help in really, caring about the authenticity, caring about what Thais really feel and what we really think, I think, we managed that, I believe, and I hope that everybody agrees when they watch it.
ผมยืนยันได้นะครับว่าเด็กๆต้องออกมาได้อย่างปลอดภัยครับ
You're talking about a 5-hour dive.
You try and dive those kids the whole way, all you'll be bringing out is dead bodies.
With oxygen running low, the entire nation is anxiously waiting for what will happen next.
That was Joel Edgerton. Make sure to check out 13 Lives. It's out now on Amazon. It's incredible. Don't miss it. You're listening to Lauv, L-A-U-V. The song is Stranger, which maybe you shouldn't follow into an alley. All right, well, little housekeeping note. Jesse had to run to an important business meeting in the alley behind his office. He's going to a magic
show. Don't let him lie to you.
Yeah, he saw a magician walk by his window and he went running out of the studio. So Jesse is not with us for this final segment. But
that magician had a gun and some meth. I don't know what was going on.
And a top hat. Don't forget the top hat.
Jesse had to go. Oh, man. All right. So we have a game. Tyler wrote it. It is called
Now I'm a Believer.
All right. Well, in an age of fake news, misleading headlines, and misinformation, it's harder than ever to discern fact from fiction. Almost anyone can post news with an authoritative tone, and most of us accept it as truth without taking the time to really analyze the claims. Yes, misinformation is on the rise, and pretty much everyone knows the feeling of realizing that something they heard on the internet may not actually be true, which is too bad because the world is unbelievable enough without fake news, making things more complicated. In this game, each player will get 3 factoids that all seem too incredible to be true, and yet one of them is a real verified fact. I even have a link to the evidence here on my document that Tyler provided in case anybody is skeptical that it's a true thing. You must determine which is the real fact and which are fictions. If you get it right, you get a point. We will be playing Derek versus Emily. Derek, you are up. Here are your 3 facts. Tell me which is the real one. First, if you could fold a piece of paper in half 42 times, it would be thick enough to reach the moon from Earth. That's the first fact. Second fact, C.S. Lewis wrote a letter to President Abraham Lincoln when he was a child. Third fact, monkeys can teach themselves and teach others to use chopsticks. Which is the real fact?
I'm going with the monkeys, man. They pretty smart.
The real fact is that if you could fold a piece of paper in half 42 times, it would be thick enough to reach the moon from Earth. That makes no sense.
Well, you can't fold it that many times. You can only fold it like 8 times or something like that. Like, have you ever tried to fold a piece of paper as small as possible? You get to a point where you you would have to use industrial weapons to actually fold. I can't fold it by hand.
Interesting.
Okay.
The more you know.
All right.
There you go. All right, Emily, you're up.
You know.
On his deathbed, filmmaker Stanley Kubrick claimed to have directed the film of the U.S. moon landing, according to his daughter. Or the Turritopsis jellyfish is biologically immortal and, unless killed by predators, will never die. Or human eyesight begins to deteriorate within the first few weeks of infancy. Babies, it is believed, can see far more stars in the night sky than their parents. What's the real fact?
I think it's the Stanley Kubrick one, but I also think that could be a conspiracy theory that I just believe is true. Like, because I know I've heard that before, but I don't know if it's fact. I'm gonna believe it. Is it true?
The real fact is the Turritopsis jellyfish is biologically immortal. It'll never die.
So I am susceptible to conspiracy theories, is what we just learned.
That's crazy. So that might be the zombie apocalypse starter right there.
Don't get stung by the Turritopsis jellyfish.
Every time you've said that word, you've said it differently.
T-U-R-R.
I thought he was talking about a dinosaur.
I thought you were trying to say Triceratops.
Yeah, me too.
Turritopsis. Okay. There you go. All right. You're up, Derek. Captain Planet's personality was based on Al Gore. Garfield is the most lucrative comic character in history. Or woolly mammoths were still alive when the pyramids were built. What's the true fact?
I'm going with Captain Planet and Al Gore just because it's bizarre.
Woolly mammoths were still alive when the pyramids were built is the true fact.
How the hell y'all know? How y'all know?
I will send you a link. I have the link. Tyler provided it.
All right, send me the link.
Isn't it like carbon dating? You can like find the bones and stuff, and you can carbon date things. I think that's the word.
know, but still, I don't know, man.
I mean,
all right. There's your proof, Derek. I just sent it to you.
I'm looking at this
Emily.
website. What is this website? This is a GeoSites website, bro. Come on, man. All right, go ahead.
All right, Emily. In 1998, workers from Area 51 tried to bring a class action lawsuit against the government for rare cancers they'd all somehow gotten on the job. The Supreme Court dismissed the lawsuit because their place of employment doesn't technically exist. Or Winston Churchill technically could have played Donkey Kong before his death. Or H&M stands for Haggai and Malachi, the last two books of the Old Testament. What's the true fact?
All of these sound incredibly unbelievable. Okay, what was the first one?
In 1998, workers from Area 51 brought a class action lawsuit against the government for rare cancers they'd all somehow gotten on the job. The Supreme Court dismissed it because their place of employment doesn't technically exist, is the first one.
I'm going to say that one because I want to know if that's true or not.
That is true. That is the real fact.
Wow.
There you go.
That ain't even that far-fetched to me.
That's crazy.
It seemed like, just bad stuff and working in the military. It seemed like that just
a lot of magic tricks happening at Area 51.
Yeah.
H&M does not stand for Haggai and Malachi, although every time you see that sign from now on, you will think it does. So
yes.
All right. 1-0. Here we go. Derek, you can catch up with this one. Here we go. Paul McCartney had a hand in composing the iconic theme of the 1960s Batman TV show. Or, though China is a world leader in many areas of technology, their engineers are unable to build a modern jet engine. Or, measured east to west at its widest point, the state of Texas is larger than the diameter of the moon. What's the true fact?
What's the first one again?
Paul McCartney had a hand in composing the iconic theme of the 1960s Batman TV show.
Man, you know what? We finna go with Texas because Texas just... everything's bigger in Texas, so we just...
The true fact is, though China is a world leader in many areas of technology, their engineers are unable to build a modern jet engine. I will send you the link.
There's like a billion people there. Not one of them can make a jet engine.
Ain't no way. That's a lie.
Yeah.
Send a link to that one.
There it is. There's
Bruh,
the
come
there's
on,
the link.
man. You can't be sending me these GeoSites websites with sketchy GIFs on the side of
They're
them, bro.
sourced. All right, here we go. Emily, you're up 1-0. Here we go. Elijah Wood was able to film all of his scenes for the Lord of the Rings trilogy in 2 weeks. Or, imitation vanilla is made using a beaver's anal excretion. Or, Olivia Rodrigo is the first person born after 2000 to have a song hit #1 on the Billboard charts. What's the true fact?
I don't think it's Olivia Rodrigo because I think Billie Eilish would have beat that or someone else. I'm going to go... Unfortunately, I do think it's the beaver one because that one is really gross. And I would like to think that Tyler didn't just make that up.
That is correct. Imitation vanilla is made using a beaver's anal excretion.
Never using imitation
and here
vanilla
is your
again.
link.
I do not need a link to that. I
And that is from nationalgeographic.com. That is a real site. All right, here we go. Derek, you're down 2-0. It's the last round, but these are worth 3 points. So here you go.
Emily, like, look at this, hating on the woman.
Scientists don't technically understand how bicycles work. Or George Washington did not know how to write. Or, though the Bible is the best-selling book of all time, experts predict Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone will overtake it by 2030. What's the real fact?
B. Whatever that
George
was.
Washington didn't know how to write. I have seen handwritten notes by him. No, yes, he did know how to write. The true fact is scientists don't technically understand how bicycles work.
I thought that was it, but I just was like, man, look. I'll post
that one.
I don't know why, but in my mind, I'm like, I know how a bicycle works. Like, I don't know, but I don't think I could actually explain it. I don't know why.
I don't think I can either.
All right, Emily, last one just for fun. Here you go. Artists didn't know how to artificially make the color pink until the early 1900s. Nobody knows what roses actually smell like. All of our modern roses are hybrids with other better smelling flowers, and natural roses are extinct. Or rabbits have 360-degree panoramic vision. What's the real fact? Pink, roses, or 360 vision?
I think it's either pink or roses. I know it took us a long time to figure out how to make the color pink. I don't know if it took us that long, but I'll go with that one.
The true fact is rabbits have a 360-degree panoramic vision. And I just sent you the link from rabbitcaretips.com. So rabbitcaretips.com verifies that.
So you saying they can see behind themselves?
I don't know how that even... Well, because their eyes do bulge out of their head. Maybe...
I mean, I guess. I don't like that. I feel like I'm never going to look at I feel like that makes me uncomfortable around rabbits because now I can't hide from them.
Yes, it does.
It reminds me of the Mos Def lyric, "Butt so big you can see it from the front." A rabbit could.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense.
Interesting.
Makes sense.
It's from the song Miss Fat Booty from 2004.
Ah, there it is. I thought it was a song about rabbits.
Emily, you won 2-0. Congratulations. You won
a game.
I'm a believer. See, we got to remove Jesse from the equation.
This one was wild.
Okay, I could beat Jesse, maybe.
Oh, here's just a bonus fact. This is true. Every time you shuffle a deck of cards, it's almost certainly the first time a deck of cards has ever been in that exact order. Because when you do the combinations, it's like it would take trillions of years to like do every version of what that deck could be. So mathematically, it's likely that it's the first time it's been that order. And here's another bonus one. The world record for a person holding their breath underwater is just over 11 minutes. No, 24 minutes. 24 minutes.
They died for 24 minutes is what you're saying. And then the organs
dude,
came
if you
back
go
to
out
life.
to like Thailand and Malaysia, there's these like old school divers that these guys just go down and over, they're like old men now, and just over their lifetime has just increased their lung capacity. They can stay underwater for like 20 minutes while they fish and dive, and they have like, caged.
I think I can make it like 30 seconds. I feel proud about that.
All right. Well, that'll do it for I'm a Believer. Well, before we wrap things up, I want to thank Joel Edgerton for joining us today, as well as producer Raymond Father Navi Rangoon. Go check out their film, 13 Lives. It is powerful. It's out on Amazon right now. Also, make sure to head over to relevantmagazine.com to see all of our daily content, including the summer issue of Relevant. It's not part of our daily content mix. It's our big content. Also, it features Naomi Rain and Jon Favreau and James Vincent McMorrow and so many great artists and thinkers and leaders and ideas. Go check it out. It's available for free thanks to our friends at World Vision. Also, Relevant Plus subscribers get their beautifully designed enhanced edition right there in their account dashboard, and it's ad-free. If you don't know about Relevant Plus, it is the best way to experience our content. It's the best way to support this podcast. Plans start as low as $250 a month, just like Patreon. Also, you get a lot of extras, more than most Patreons. You get an ad-free edition of this podcast. You get an exclusive subscriber podcast. You get unlimited articles and ad-free viewing at relevantmagazine.com. And like I mentioned, our beautiful quarterly digital magazine. as well. Make sure to go find out more information about all the plans by clicking the Relevant Plus tab at relevantmagazine.com. Also, while you're at the site, make sure to check out Deeper Walk, our weekday devotional series presented by Lumo. There's a morning devotional email you can sign up for right there on the Faith homepage, or you can just check out that day's post each morning in the Faith section and on the front page of our website. Hey, if you like the show, you have a favorite part of the show, something stands out to you, tell people about it. Rate it and review it wherever you listen, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any of the other platforms we're on. Tell your friends, post about the show, help us spread word. Going into the fall, we have some fun plans coming up. We would love to see your feedback and have you tell your friends, check out the show if you like it. All right, on that note, we will wrap it up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Derek Miner.
I'm Emily Brown.
For Jesse Carey, we'll see you next time, everyone. Have a great week.
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast. Check out our features, interviews, and news updates every day at relevantmagazine.com. And make sure to follow Relevant on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest. For more great podcasts, browse the shows on the Relevant Podcast Network, which you can find at our site. And while you're there, don't miss the all-new era of Relevant Magazine. A new issue releases every other month at relevantmagazine.com.
Pretty sure the pigs are pretty stoked about this development.
Relevant Podcast Network.